can rest your head on my shoulder. While by the dawn's early light, my love, I will defend your right to try. Love American style, that's me and you.
And to emphasize that your work here will bring more happiness to more people than any other scientific work done in America. Now, our goal is simple: a happy sex life for everyone. Now, this is rarer than you might think. I can ask you, gentlemen, in the confidence of this scientific community, who among you enjoys a really perfect sex life? I asked Jones. How long have you been married, Jones?
I'm engaged.
Now, you are all graduate students in psychology who will someday have your own patients. This temporary employment as sex researchers will help you to solve their sex problems. Now, are there any comments? Perhaps something from your own experience?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Watkins.
Well, I'm suffering from exactly what we're talking about. Oh, I mean the American sex syndrome. I'm a warm, hot-blooded, liberated 20th century man, and I married a fragile, shy 19th century girl, and we're separated.
Because of her old-fashioned notion.
Exactly. I thought it was great when we were going together. The Southern belle that was raised on the old plantation who'd faint if you kissed with your lips parted.
What happens when you bring this up to her?
I wouldn't dare. She'd faint dead away. She thinks we're Beauty and the Beast.
Thank you, Watkins. I'm sure your experience here with us will give you some insight to this relatively common problem. Now, one final warning. Ask your questions, not as scientists, but as warm human beings. But bear in mind that some women are deeply moved by this type of discussion and will try to involve you in a relationship. Now, any response on your part, while totally human, is totally unprofessional.
Thank you for volunteering for the University Sex Survey. In front of you, you'll find a microphone which will distort your voice. My voice, which you hear now, is also distorted, and this will preclude any possibility that we might recognize each other by our voices should we meet.
Now that's mighty sweet, 'cause I'd just die if we ever met. I mean, you just can't know how hard it is for me to come in here and talk about sex. Stranger. Oh.
Well, we appreciate it.
I just don't know how I ever pumped up my courage.
Which brings us to a question we must ask. Why did you volunteer?
You mean to talk about sex? That is all I have to do. I mean, I hope it is.
This is just questions.
Well, that's good, because the questions are going to be hard enough. I mean, I'm just not accustomed to using four-letter words like S-E-X from a gentleman.
Oh, no, I'm sure you're not.
I guess you use those words all day. Must be mighty interesting.
Problems?
Yes, sir. Excuse me just a minute, please. Sir, I have a feeling. I mean, I'm afraid that...
Yes.
I think the woman I'm talking to is my wife.
The girl you're separated from.
My wife has a habit of always spelling things. This lady keeps spelling S-E-X.
That's one of the most common peculiarities we run into. Some people can't even mention the word. They spell it. Someday our work will wipe out all these inhibitions. Turn it on, let me listen.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, we had a little professional hang-up here. Now, you were saying why you volunteeed.
I am a warm, passionate lady. And I married myself a man who hates everything about sex. Well, I thought if it might help some other poor little old bride.
Passionate bride. Cold groom. Certainly not your wife.
Now, did you have any early experience with your husband?
Premarital?
Well, that is to say, before you were married, did you,
Nothing. He was a perfect gentleman. Now, that should have warned me.
did you have any experience with any other men?
Do I have to tell you that?
Well, no, you don't have to, but...
Well, I do declare, I just don't know where to begin. Magnolias. Now, if you ever go out with a girl, take her where the magnolias are blooming. She won't be able to defend her honor. Oh, now here I go telling you about SEX. Well, there were magnolias blooming just about everywhere in my hometown.
Still think it could be your wife?
But I wish it were. She's like a whole new sex. Now, how about extramarital relations?
Extra? You mean after I'm married?
Yeah.
I'm just as ashamed of you as I can be. In fact, I might just walk out of here this very minute.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to...
Since I said I do, I didn't. Except with my husband. Of course, we're separated now.
Separated?
A warm ray of sunshine cannot live with an iceberg.
Before you separated, didn't you complain to your husband about his attitude?
Complain to George? If he was the last man on earth. I mean, I don't intend to beg. My pappy said to me, now, Linda, if you marry a Yankee...
Sir, it's my wife. She just blurted out my name.
Oh, very interesting. Well, I'm sure that you'll be able to retain your objectivity. Carry on.
Wait a minute. I just can't carry on. She's been carrying on all by herself, and I won't listen anymore.
George, in this office, you're a scientist first and a husband second.
Yes, sir.
This is an extraordinary opportunity. You just might learn something.
Sir, I've learned too much already.
Is anybody there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Well, you better hurry on. I'm getting scared than a long-tailed cat sitting on a porch of rocking chairs. My daddy always said that.
During your courting days, did you ever give your husband the impression that you were a different kind of girl than you are? I mean, what would happen when he'd make a pass?
Well, he only made one. We were on my daddy's plantation, and we were supposed to be picking cotton. But he started to get fresh.
What'd you do?
Well, I told him, you take your cotton-picking hands off me. But it didn't mean forever.
I suggested he see a doctor or a psychiatrist.
Oh, no, I think his only trouble is that he's a Yankee. I never had any trouble with any of those Southern boys.
How would you describe your honeymoon?
Mission impossible.
Just about enough of this.
I beg your pardon.
It's lies. It's distortion.
Are you out of your cotton-picking mind?
Do you have any idea to whom you're talking?
Well, I thought I was talking to a professional, but you're beginning to sound like some kind of a SEX maniac.
See that? The minute somebody gets a little earthy with you, you go back in your magnolia tree and poke your parasol at them.
Who are you?
I'm your cotton-picking husband, that's who I am. How dare you say those things about me?
You tricked me. I'm just gonna die. That's all. I'm gonna lie down and wait for my mate.
That's the kind of talk that made me think you were Little Miss Delicate Flower. You know what you need?
Don't you strike me, or I'll sing.
I want you to enjoy this.
Let me go. You hear now?
Mission impossible. Cold-blooded Yankee. Iceberg. Now call the director.
I don't want the director. You're doing just fine all by yourself.
George Watkins!
Boy, now I'm going to be fired.
If you are, remember, I'm still at the same address.
We should have had this talk months ago.
George, will you wait for me in my office, please?
Yes, sir. It was worth it, honey.
Now, my dear, what just happened was highly irregular and unethical. However, it certainly worked.
I can't thank you enough for pointing out his booth to me. Oh, the whoppers I told about my premarital experiences.
Well, this is one of those noble causes where a little white lie is completely justified.
If I'm going to be fired...
Fired? You're not going to be fired. I simply think that you're ready for some field work. George, how would you like to continue this research at home?